And to Asia now, where a simmering border dispute between Thailand and Cambodia is casting a shadow over a summit of Southeast Asian leaders this weekend. Only months after clashes that killed more than 40 people and forced mass evacuations, the two neighbors are again trading accusations over border posts and land seizures. As leaders prepare to gather in Malaysia, the dispute is testing their unity. DW's Asia-Pacific Bureau Chief Georg Mattes sat down with Cambodia's information minister, who repeated his criticism of Thailand's conduct.
What would you say are the biggest sticking points in the current negotiations with Thailand?
The big problem for the negotiation with Thailand is the stop fighting. We cannot use the force to change the borderline, but Thailand is now.
Do you think they don't respect the ceasefire?
Yes. Because they lay out the barbed wire along the border. And you see the situation in Cambodian village in Praychan and Chok Chai. A lot of the civilians leave their house because of the barbed wires across their village. They cannot access to the house.
The perception in Thailand is that a lot of civilian targets were hit, like a 7-Eleven at a gas station. What is your response to that?
But if you are looking in Cambodia, the Thailand used F-16 to drop the bomb on the civilian house, the school, the pagoda. And
so
Cambodia only use our self-defense right to protect our territory.
So you would say it's more collateral damage?
Yes.
Now, how do you think you can move on from here? Where do you see room to resolve this conflict?
The conflict and the war cannot make end by the fighting, always by negotiation. And you see the situation, we don't advance in the Thai territory. We protect only along the border and according to the map that recognized internationally and used by the ICJ.
But that is an international court that Thailand does not recognize in this conflict.
Cambodia and Thailand share the border for more than 800 kilometers. So we use the bilateral mechanism. And for the place that we cannot resolve bilateral, we looking for the third party. For example, the ICJ that we want to resolve the problem, because Cambodia want only the peace and to protect our sovereignty. That's all.
And earlier today, I spoke to Surasant Kongsiri. He represents Thailand's defense ministry, and he rejected Cambodia's accusation that it is Thailand who is breaking the truce.
Well, I have to say that is entirely untrue. And Thailand has been very strong and abiding by the rules of law and the international order. And we have been at the very first day of the situation, abiding by all this truce and looking for peaceful means and peaceful ways of resolving the situation. And of course, we realize the negotiation table is the most important, the most crucial instrument that we can use. And we have been trying to resort to the bilateral negotiation between the two countries because we already have the mechanisms all in place.
Now, what is preventing progress then in these current negotiations?
Well, it's basically the insincerity, the honesty that obviously the Cambodian has been threatening us in terms of producing fake news and misinformation. A lot of the information that has been created from their side has been fabricated and misinformation, and kind of trying to create or provoke the situation to get even worse.
Now, why is Thailand then so reluctant to cooperate with a neutral institution, the International Criminal Court, on this issue?
Well, it's not actually unwilling to cooperate. Let me put it this way. Suppose you have like neighbors quarreling or arguing about the fences bordering the two houses. Would you go all the way to the World Court or to even like international organization just to resolve this the dispute that the two neighbors have? I mean, we already have the mechanisms all in place, the bilateral mechanisms like the General Border Committee, the Joint Boundary Commission, or even at the local level, we have what we call the Regional Border Committee, all in place and all agreed upon by both sides. Well, so we will try, we have been trying to use these bilateral mechanisms to resolve the situation at the initial phases. But it's only the Cambodians that they feel that this issue needs to be raised up to the international level. And of course, by raising up to the international level, what would you say? I mean, would the third party understand the situation along the border? I would not agree with that, because obviously I don't think the third party would understand the local situation, the culture, the tradition, the way of life of the local people. So why would we need to bring in the third party to try to solve this issue?
But you asked me whether I would bring in a third party if there was an neighborly dispute about a fence. And with all respect, I would say yes, because people are getting killed. So, and apparently the two parties are not able to solve this issue. So again, why not bring in a neutral party?
Well, the deaths did not start from outside. I mean, if you go back to the history, on the 24th of July this year, the start of the firing actually came from the Cambodian side, killing all the innocent civilians. And of course, the Thai side has to resort to this situation by in a way of self-defense, according to the United Nations Charter. And by self-defense, we use aircraft to bomb the military targets, not civilian targets at all. That were the locations that we were aiming for, to try to cut off the capability of the Cambodian armed forces. But on the contrary, the Cambodian side fired the BM-21 multiple rocket launchers into a lot of the civilian homes and civilian facilities. And that's really indiscriminate firing that they attacked us. So I mean, all in all, we've been trying to resolve the situation by a bilateral means, because we already have the mechanisms in place. Why do we need to go to the third party? And obviously, I just mentioned that deaths did not start from us. Actually, they started from the Cambodian, and we didn't want to start all this dispute of using military means to resolve the issue in the first place.
I would still maintain that a neutral party could determine who fired at whom when they were on the ground. But also, there were 18 Cambodian soldiers captured by Thailand. What is their status now?
Well, they're in good health and they're being looked after well. They are being treated as the prisoners of war as part of this the tension that we've had between the two sides. And of course, we actually thinking of returning them, and we'll return them as soon as the hostilities by the Cambodian side ends. And we just recently concluded what we call a meeting called the General Border Committee, and we've all agreed, both sides have agreed upon the four conditions that the Cambodia and Thailand would have to fulfill. These are the removal of heavy weapons along the border in order to prevent the indiscriminate firing and use of heavy weapons to destroy or to kill innocent civilian lives along the border. Secondly, we need to work together in resolving the demining a lot of personal landmines along the border. We need to resolve this issue. And thirdly, on the cyber scams, the scam centers, we also have to work together in order to resolve this. As well as the fourth issue, I think this could actually relate to your question relating to the dispute or the unpeaceful way along the border. The villagers who live actually along the border would need to return to normalcy, to their normal lives. And these are the four conditions that both sides have to fulfill, especially the Cambodian side has to fulfill in order to start discussion about returning the prisoners of war.
Rear Admiral Surasant Kongsiri, spokesman for the Royal Thai Armed Forces Headquarters, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me.